So I've seen a lot of questions about people asking about QD OLED and the burn-in potential, especially as they've seen Arting's video and their review, and so I kind of wanted to chime in. Burn-in is something that's going to happen on any OLED within enough time and with static content. But as far as QD OLED being more prone to burn-in, that's just not the case from what I've seen in my experience, and in fact I think it handles it pretty well. I think if you're somebody that is watching a television the way you would normally watch it, or just gaming, or whatever you're doing, you'll be fine. I've covered this before in past videos, but the questions still come up as to the risks of these televisions and should you maybe go with LG or Sony or whatever the case may be. So I kind of wanted to do a breakdown from what I've seen has more image retention and less, and just go from there. So number one on the list for the worst with image retention would be a Sony television. It doesn't matter if it's their QD OLED or if it's their regular OLED. Sony just doesn't do a very good job with tiles on the screen that you'll find usually on Blu-ray menus or on Xbox or PlayStation home interfaces. That's something you're just going to have to deal with. Another thing that you kind of want to keep in mind is, well, simply put, you have options, right? So even though Sony might not be the best, at least in that area, you still can go with like an LED if you still want a Sony. So don't hear like burn-in or image retention is more prominent there and just think, well, you can't just buy Sony. You can buy whatever you want. Just be advised as the scale backs usually with the LED line from Sony. Then of course next on the list we're going to have LG. I do have a very difficult time spotting any real image retention with LG, but if you're careful enough and you spot it by looking at the tiles like PlayStation, usually Xbox Series X is really bad. You sit it there for a while. You can see after a while there'll be a tile if you sit it there long enough, but it almost goes away immediately, so it's very difficult. Now, older LG OLEDs are really bad with this. I mean, like anything 2016 to about 2019, you'll probably have significant tile image retention and things like that. But again, you can get rid of it, so it's not that big of a deal. And the newer OLEDs from LG, I think honestly, anything from 2020 onward, you're golden, and you're going to have even more of a difficult time spotting those things, albeit they do show up from time to time. So just keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is, again, even though like you do have options, I wouldn't go with LG's options. LG's options kind of are more in the way of like crappy IPS panel. You don't really want to be doing that, so I would avoid doing that. Then last but not least is QD OLED. I found these to be the most durable overall outside of obviously Sony. And I think the conversation kind of needs to shift towards like why people are so intimidated by this type of technology to the point of saying like it burns in faster, because I have not seen that, and I've been driving mine particularly hard when given the opportunity and things of that nature. So just wanted to give this update, and if you find it helpful, smack a like on the video, and thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Till the next video, I'll see you guys later.